Welcome, race fans, to event number 2 for FootHills Sim Racing Battle at Road America today. We're going to be doing 2 hours of endurance racing. Chris, in the booth with me tonight. I'm Robert Warrens, host for Outlier TV, alongside my good friend Chris. Say hi to the people.
Hi to the people. Welcome, Foothills Sim Racing League. Good to be back with you guys for race number 2 in your good league. I'm pretty pumped up about this one, Robert. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. This 2 hour battle between the Arca cars and the Mazdas, it's going to be pretty interesting. The Arca car is wide and a little bit more powerful than the Mazda, so it's going to be kind of a diligent dance between the two classes to get it done. Big track here at Road America. It's been around for over 70 years, 4 miles in length, but we got kind of cloudy skies with cooler temperatures, so it should help keep the cars on the track. We'll be going through some of the turns and elevations as we progress, but yeah, let's see what we got here.
I think it's going to be a good time, Robert. I was thinking about last race, which was a great show put on by all these drivers. Excuse me. We have this second race going, and I'm pretty excited about the disparity chosen by this league for the cars at this track. Last race we had the street stocks and the GT3s, and that was a big difference between those two cars. And in this race, we have the Arca and the Mazdas, like you specified. I think it's going to be a lot closer in the times between getting around the track tonight. So we'll have to see what this racing brings, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Chris. And let's roll into our grid lineup here. So we'll see the Arca cars roll first because they're about 30 seconds faster a lap over those Mazdas. So taking a look at our grid right now, we got Barker on the pole with Ripple on the outside. In P3, we got Daniels followed by Burke in the 4th spot. In 5th, we got Beish and Phillips on the 6th spot. 7th is going out to Two Shoe Steven Shoe. He's your cousin. And Foster in 8th. 9th goes out to Great House. And 10th, Emberson. 11th, Ripple. And 12th, Gomolika. And 13th is Benke. And 14th is Carlos Sama. And 15th, it looks like he didn't post up a Q lap, is Jennings. And mine was in 16th, and then 17th is Strouch. So a little bit of, I guess, mix up there. That's going to be pretty interesting as far as those cars coming through the field. Those Arca cars are going to want to get some real estate pretty fast.
Yeah, I think that'll put on a good show for the lap one of those guys. Like you said, wanting to try and get through the field. This will be a long pace lap, you said, 4-mile track. So
Yeah.
we'll watch these guys get their cars ready, try and put some heat into the tires. But it gives us a good opportunity to kind of catch some of these paint schemes, these paint jobs. I see we got nerds up front. You do know, Robert, that I love paints after candies. I have a history of that. So good to see nerds running up front.
Yeah, Nerds is one of the paints there. We'll have to go through them as they go on because the cameras here, sometimes they zoom in. So depending on where we are on the track, how they, I guess dial in the double zero there, Steven Shoe. That's a Days of Thunder paint. Chris
Robert, I'll
Phillips
jump
there.
in here really quick just to let all the viewers know, of course, we will try and get to your comments in the chat. So please, anyone that's watching, if they got any shout outs, anything going on track, we'll address that as well.
What's your thoughts on these Mazdas having the open roof? Do you like that? Fan of that?
Honestly, the open roof, not so much, I'll be honest. I would like the hard top, but I mean, I don't know. This is a super popular class in iRacing. What can I say? I mean, again, I think this is going to be a really good show. A lot of good drivers in the Mazda spec class. It's going to be a good matchup with the Mazdas on this track versus the Arca cars that have been redesigned in the last redesign in iRacing. So it's going to be a good matchup. I'll say that.
Definitely. We're coming around to the last turn and the front stretch. So, Chris, it's time to lock in for our 2-hour dance.
2-hour dance. Our endurance race here. I'm going to tighten my belt real quick.
So you'll start to see some actions pop up as the race progresses here, and they're off and fired away.
46 with a pretty good jump there.
The Arca cars are already gone. So just if you're watching there on the left-hand side, you can see that the cars are separated by class. So you're going to see the Mazda icons, the Ford. Looks like I'm going to have to refresh them there, but showing Barker. Oh, that's a Toyota. My bad. But you can see that
the Ford, Chevrolet.
You can see Klein is further down in that. Ooh, Barker slides up the track early, saves it. I think
that's a popular spot for cars to just want to rotate those cars too much. They're coming off a lot of speed and trying to make that left-hand turn, especially on lap 1 where we have cold tires.
Yeah, and you can see Barker getting up on the bumper of Ripple, trying to get that spot back. Looks like we got some off tracks happening in behind.
Showing Carlos Sama with a meatball flag.
I think he had a bad boo-boo. We also have Benke in the pits as well. Wow.
It's like we rehearsed this.
Yeah, I think we did, Chris. We
another popular spot here on track where these guys are going to have a lot of speed, cold tires, possibility to get loose there, and then heavy braking going into this turn.
That's the Canada corner.
All the way from Canada, you say?
You don't say, eh, bud? I think the cool thing, too, is that, FootHills Sim Racing here has put together some hardware, so we are going to be battling for some hardware today. The top 3 in both classes are going to receive some trophies, so you can see them now. There's cool little custom trophies there for these winners and podium finishers.
Robert, those are awesome. Is it too late for me to join?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, dang it. Those are nice little trophies. That's pretty cool.
Looks like
I was going to ask you real quick before we get too deep here. Is it possible to see any replays? Do we have that available to us as far as what Benke and Carlos Sama got involved with there?
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at Carlos Sama here. So tough battle, 3 wide. Oh.
That's a 3-car pileup.
That's Benke in the middle. Going into the wall, doing the twirly. And that's Carlos Sama. Unfortunately, nowhere to go.
Who's that with the hood up? That was pretty wild. There's an outhouse. Or a porta potty.
The hood came down, but that's the 36 of Gomolka.
So Gomolka was apparently okay to stay in the race.
Yeah, that was a tough battle there. Little tight racing. I'm not sure if that's something that I'd want to get done on the first lap there.
No, especially knowing you have 2 hours of racing ahead of you. But, those things happen. And I guess brings me up to my next question is, hey, these guys do have 1 fast repair. Am I right on that?
Yeah, 100% right. They've got 3 sets of tires. So the one that's on the car, 2 more in the pits, and then 1 Fasto Reparo.
So I don't know if our tower is requiring an update or not, but I still show that they're in the pit. I don't know if they
You see
are
Benke
actually.
now is exiting the pit, so it's going to be a matter of what it takes for them to tow and get there,
Oh, yes,
and
yes,
when they
yes,
tow,
yes,
right? So right now
yes.
on the screen here, we got the battle for the lead in the Mazdas. That's Great House, followed by Emberson, only 1/10 separating those two. And it looks like Emberson is looking for dancing room. Remember, Great House from our Watkins Glen race led majority of the race and fell victim to strategy in event number 1.
Remember, we saw some really, really great battles at the closing of the race, and it looks like here, or at least we're focused on right now, these guys are just sticking to each other,
Yeah.
giving us some good racing.
Down the front stretch here, gumming down into the first turn. And there's going to be a lot of passing here. They're so tight that, they're getting a good draft. They're getting that good pull. And you can see both drivers skilled to hold the line and share the track, not like what we saw in that first lap there. Jump over to
We'll see a
different
lot
battle.
of these guys trading positions just by having the advantage of the draft.
Yeah, exactly. Off track for Foster. That's a doozy where he back in. Here's a battle in and around. The Phillips is in 5th. You got Shu in behind him, and he's chasing Daniels. They're just, about a second apart each way. So pretty tight there. This is the winner of the GT3 class last time is the 27 Abesh. Wonder if he's just nursing his tires here and looking at a long run strategy ready to pounce. Chris, what do you think?
I do think so. In fact, I was just going to kind of just bring that up for chat. These guys, it's tough because we don't normally see these ARCA cars on a track like this. So I would imagine the opportunity to chew tires up, it's easy to probably do. So I think some management is going to play into some of these drivers' hands if they, have the discipline to do that. And, maybe that's exactly what Beige is doing, is just trying to play the long game, take care of his tires, and know that, it can work for him later on in the race.
Pop up to another battle here. We got Strouch and Gomulka battling for the 5th and 4th spot in the Mazdas.
We saw Gomulka get involved in that incident earlier. Car looks fine. It didn't go to the pit stop, I don't believe.
Yeah, we saw his hood pop up, but that was about it. So that hood came down, and it looks like the racing fairies relatched the hood pins.
Oh, I love the racing fairies.
Go ahead and pop up to our leader here is the 12 of Ripple. Still getting pressure from Barker, who's sitting about 4/10 back. I think this is going to be one of the top shelf battles. If these two drivers can stay clean, it's going to become really a management thing, but we're going to have to take a look at lap times overall to see if they're pushing too hard compared to what we said earlier with the 27 Abesh, if he's saving his equipment.
We were talking about tires earlier. I'm wondering what kind of tire wear they're going to get too. It's a lot different to see these guys on this road course versus an oval track. So I don't know what to expect. What kind of longevity they'll get out of these tires.
Ripple! You see, he locked it up and almost saw the heavens, but was able to square it up. And that's live on Outlier TV. He's got those tires heated up now. That car's gonna continue to slide around. He's gonna have to cool it down, back up his entry to the corners. Oh, heard a slidey slide in behind.
You know as well as I do, Robert, it's harder to defend than to attack, and maybe he's just feeling that pressure, and that's a tough turn there off that long straight.
So just showing, yeah, and I agree. Just showing Steven Shu went off track there. Let's go ahead and use our fancy instant replay cams to take a look at that. So Steven Shu here cut. Oh, look at it's Phillips in front of him. Complete slide, gets it squared up. Shu following him. And then corrects it. That's not too dangerous.
I think it's pretty impressive, actually.
Hard to impress you.
It is. Well, you know what impresses me is the in the chat here, Paige Marty Phillips. Still no line at the porta potty. I may be the first. I'm on my second cup of coffee, and we're about 10 minutes in. So we'll see about that, Paige, later on.
You know, Chris, maybe what you can do is maybe share your thoughts on some of the elevations of the track and what drivers would expect as they're coming through the various turns here.
Well, okay, way to put me on the spot, Robert. Let's see here. I have to familiarize myself just a little bit. You know, you see the largest elevation from the last turn 14 going into turn 1 on that long straight. You know, you don't notice it so much when we see the footage, TV1, I should say, or from the driver cam, but you can see what the elevation actually is. It's a long climb up that hill. And what makes that tough sometimes is those guys are carrying so much speed. It's heavy braking going into turn 1. And I think, as we've seen in some instances where those guys have gone wide and off track. And I would like to think as these tires start to fade away and we start to see driver fatigue later in the race, that's going to be a key spot of opportunity for some of these guys going into 1. Next difficult spot, I would say, turn 5. Again, you can see it's a pretty long run. You're going downhill. Good opportunity for drivers to pass. And, heavy braking zone again into turn 5. And that's a 90-degree turn to the left. So I think that's also a key spot for drivers going off track and potential for damage as well. So turn 1, excitement. Turn 5, I would say just the last sort of exciting opportunity generally is, I'm kind of just turning my head a bit, is the run from probably about turn, I would say 9 or 10 all the way through 12, maybe even earlier than that. I would say let's say turn 9 or so, because those drivers are carrying speed. There's a bit of downhill. There's a little bit of a zag there right at turn 11 where you want to make sure that you can keep the car planted and not go off track at 11, because sometimes we'll see drivers run off track, hit the wall. That's where we saw the Mazdas earlier have their little off track and collisions there. And again, want to get the car slowed down at turn 12. Sorry, I had to turn my head, and make sure that you can get your braking done in a straight line to make that turn to the right, and almost complete your lap there through the next set of zags and head uphill again.
Yeah, it's definitely got those characteristics of where it kind of like loads the car up with gravity, takes it away, loads it up with gravity as far as going through those elevations. We've just started having the Arca cars navigate through the Mazdas, and we had Barker slide off track there and Ripple take the lead back. Barker's back in the hunt looking for the top spot in that Arca car. We did have a crash. We're going to use our Outlier TV instant replay here while that was all happening and getting your beautiful soliloquy of the track layout, Chris. We're going to use our instant replay here.
I'll try and make it more of a haiku this time.
Taking a look at this. This is the 3 machine of Drew Jennings. Just sliding out. We're gonna speed this up because I think he slides off the track again. You see a little slight tire lockup and then loses it on the exit. Tough break for him there. But gets it squared away. Doesn't lose too much time, but that's I mean, a significant hit to the lap times there.
Good enough to keep the car clean at least this early in the race. So I'm sure he doesn't mind taking a hit on losing some time there.
Once again, just seeing that pressure for the lead. We got Greathouse showing off the track. Pop over to Greathouse and look at the MX5 battles. He's still on the hunt of Emberson, who is 1.1 seconds ahead.
I think that these guys will continue to give us a good show throughout this race. It's so early, you know, there's a lot of time obviously in this race. And, you know, like I said, I think this Mazda series is very, very popular in iRacing. So these guys, I think the people that do drive these cars, they have a lot of experience behind the wheel, and especially too, this is a very like popular track. So I just think that we'll see like just a good show. I think these guys know how to drive these cars, and especially around this track, and we'll just see some good, just honest pushing.
Yep. Taking a look at the 21 machine, the Mazdas here. This is Ron Ripple. His last lap was 17 seconds slower than the lead. Well, that would be the ARCA leader, so not comparative. But we could see two different classes with Ripple winners, right? We have Ron Ripple in the Mazdas here, and then we also have Jason Ripple, who's running the ARCA cars.
Cool. I don't know if they're father, son, brothers, brother, sister. I don't know, but that's cool to have like a family member in the race.
Wonder if we can look at some last lap time around just to see if we're noticing anyone that is gaining. Pull that up on the screen. So now you can see on the chart there is the last lap times. Barker just a slight bit quicker than our leader, Ripple, and everyone else is about a second and a half to 2 seconds behind. That's Daniels, Bache, Phillips, Burke, Drew, and then great
tracks there.
A lot of off tracks. MX5s there creeping around the 36, 35, 37, 36 second laps. Greathouse about 6/10, 7/10 slower than Emberson, but he's taking the lead. So those guys are just about to battle out again. So Emberson was winning, Chris, and then all of a sudden you blink your eyes, you look away, and we got a lead change again.
You know, that's another like interesting component of a race like this, where you have two different like series of cars. You know, you have a battle like this where these guys are like super close, and then they come up to lapped traffic, and that can definitely play a role in what these guys are doing. Gives, you know, possibly you know, the driver behind to pull forward and so forth. So anyway, just different stuff, different components of a race like this that, you know, give us a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna just continue to be a lot of back and forth, and how much these guys can continue to push, log laps, and be consistent. I think consistency might be the dividend here that pays somebody a victory.
A lot of talent from these drivers as well. You know, it's interesting, these this is not a common setup for these drivers in these ARCA cars to be at a track like this. So we know when we see a battle, you know, like what we're watching right now, I mean, that takes a lot of driver patience, of course. They're not used to managing their cars, these cars, I should say, in a setting like this. So it just shows, like, you know, discipline, respect, and so forth.
I absolutely agree. This is the battle here for third and fourth. So we're on the 0-2 of Daniels, and in front of Daniels is the 0-4 of Wesley Burke. They started side by side, and they're putting on one heck of a show with just 2-3 tenths separating both of them. Went down into turn one.
This is always an opportunity right here. Tough to manage these cars.
So, you know, we'll hop in the cockpit here, take a look at perhaps Daniels as he's chasing Burke. So just from that viewing perspective here, you get to see from the driver's view of how
what a great place to pick that up too, Robert, right at this corner.
And this is turn 5 into turn 6. What is this? Whoa!
Oh,
good save. What a heck of a
that's
save.
Great. Yeah, great timing to go to this this cockpit cam, just to see those guys go into that earlier turn, and then just to see, you know, Daniels just struggle with the car, only because the car is difficult to manage. No shame on, of course, his part, but these cars, they have I don't know how many laps we're in already, but the tires are starting to go. They're not used to driving this car at a track like this, so it's definitely a lot to manage, and that was an awesome save, like you said.
Oh, miraculous. And we'll have to see if Daniels is able to gather it up here, cool down those tires. You can hear him clutching a lot, actually. And charge back up on Burke. They've been pretty close most of the race. So,
what's exciting, too, if you're a viewer, if you haven't paid note to this, but, you know, if you see where the miles per hour are, you can see the gearing as well. So just kind of see what these drivers are doing as far as how they're managing, what gears they're going into for these turns.
maybe pop over to one of the Mazdas now. We'll hop on board Emberson, the 83 machine, who's about a second behind the leader, Greathouse. Man. Very different sounding car.
Different sounding, and you could notice too, these drivers are able to kind of just keep their foot in it more through these turns. They don't have to like scrub off as much speed, I think, at these turns, at least at the sweepers. Foot in it just all the way through.
Yeah, these Mazdas are lighter and slower, and they're really just able to carry that speed, just like you're saying, Chris. Those Arca cars, you know, they're not really super road course friendly, right? They're big and heavy.
Yeah, not at all. I think the suspension setup is probably a lot stiffer on these Mazdas, so they really can just roll through this track. Just foot in it the whole way through there. Super exciting to see that. Scrub off the speed and just roll right through that corner.
Go ahead and take a look at his last lap. It's going to show the leader lap there, but here we go. Last lap was a 34, 2 minutes 34 for Emberson. We'll pop over to Greathouse now. So remember, sorry, 2:36. They just crossed the line.
Daniels showed another off track, coincidentally. Dealing with those tires, I assume.
Yeah, that's not good once you heat him up. There's Greathouse lapping a Mazda there. And he's just a touch faster than Emberson. And we'll keep that momentum there. We saw a great battle with the 02 and 04 of Burke and Daniels. We'll go ahead and pop on the 46 of Barker, who is whoa. There goes an Arca car, Chris. And that's
Couldn't get the braking done. Mazda just
that's
able
crazy.
to tuck right in.
Go ahead and pop on Barker now and take a look at the battle for the lead.
Trying to show him in the mirrors, getting his mirrors.
You got to peek around. We got Beige with an off track. A lot of off tracks.
This
There
might
isn't-
play a factor right here, catching up to the Mazda.
Yeah, they've navigated them. I think that's the 36 of Glomica. Or 35 of Benke, one of the two. Oh, man, this Arca car looks like it's a handful.
Robert, you said how many sets of tires they have?
They got two extra sets, yeah.
Okay.
Coming up on another Arca car here. Good spot for our leader, Ripple, to make the pass. Parker able to follow through. Oh, wow. Just the counter steer on the exit of the turns is crazy.
Definitely got to slow these down in a straight line. Oh, that's going to play a factor.
He navigated it quite well.
Yeah, he did. That was great.
Pop off our view here. Coming down that front stretch down into turn one.
That shot gave us a good idea of the elevation change.
Showing you the big hill. And those elevation changes, Chris, like you said it before, and now we're kind of seeing it live on Outlier TV, is that it's loading up the car going into the corners, and it's causing them to lock up the brakes even more because you have gravity forcing more weight on the front tires.
Here they are coming down the hill now.
Barker using all the track there. Probably a smart move to sweep out there.
Yeah, these guys are doing a great job of, like you said earlier, just kind of navigating through these Mazda cars.
And that's,
Mazda cars doing a good job of giving them some space.
Yeah, those are the leaders. So this is, I believe, now the first time that those Mazdas, the Emerson and Great House, are going a lap down. You can see Great House is now probably about, what, a second ahead of Emerson. But, man, look at how small the Mazdas are compared to the full-size Arca car.
Robert, I saw, was it Jennings? I forgot. I'm sorry. Someone had a black flag.
Let's go ahead and take a look
I
at
missed
Drew
the
Jennings
name.
here. So we saw the 3 machine earlier of Drew Jennings lose the sauce here. So I'll speed it up.
I hope he's not out of the race. Oh. Is it incident points, perhaps?
He's still showing on track.
I did see a black
he's
flag. I don't know if he has incident points and has to have a penalty, perhaps? I don't know. He's in the pit stop.
Yeah, you are correct. He's got a black, so 25 incidents, or like, what is it? 1 per off track, 4 for contact, and 2 for losing control. So, you know, whatever is the rival there of time, have those count up against you. Taking a look at the 00, Steven Shue.
props to these guys in the Mazda class because it's tough to race a good race your competitor, and also try and um, be mindful of this, traffic coming around you. So these guys are doing a great job.
We've got the, is it 585? We'll go over to him next. We're gonna grab Strouch. He's putting some pressure on the third spot for the Mazdas against Ripple. So maybe we can just take a look at his last lap time. It looks like Ron Ripple, who's in front of him in that 21 machine. Looking at Devin's last lap, 2 minutes and 36 seconds, 58. We'll hop over to Ron. So 36.58 and 38.4. So about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds slower than the 585 machine of Strouch. These Mazdas, Chris, I think you were saying it, they're really momentum cars too. So, you have all that on throttle time. You need to keep your foot in it, but also get momentum to make a pass here. And I think we're seeing some respectful driving between the 585 and 21, while that 585 is looking for real estate to make a clean pass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Robert. You said it, momentum. I think if these guys have an off or they lose that momentum, it makes it difficult to try and catch back up. So a lot of skill here between these two. Not much of a gap, and again, we're seeing a good show here. Maybe we can jump to cockpit cam, perhaps, of what is it? The number 585. Well, Strouch, and just kind of watch that for a couple seconds.
We'll watch that in 1 sec. Just wanted to pop over to the 83 machine of Emberson. He's the first one in the pits here. So before we pop back and we see the battle between Ripple and Strouch, just kind of wondering what his strategy is going to be here. We're going to see bolting on of tires or just fuel?
Tires.
Tires it is. Now back to where my good... Oh, coming up on Lappy Traffy. I think now that the 585's caught the 21, it's just kind of like a waiting game, because the 21 might be backing up his entry right up on the bumper.
I've seen Jennings has had 3 off tracks, I think, since the pit, so I'm assuming probably took some tires and maybe adjusting to some cold tires, perhaps.
Jennings, his team might have missed the setup today, as he's definitely on the bus of struggling.
I usually take that bus daily.
I thought it was a short bus, Chris.
It might be.
I'll have to check in with these two drivers a little bit later on.
We can jump to Jennings. Jennings and now we have Shu off track together.
Jennings has gathered it back up.
Tough too when you've been pushing and you're used to those warm tires and feeling pretty good, and then you come right out, have the cold tires, and you're pushing like you were, and kind of have to get used to sort of like just putting a lap or 2 back in them.
Looks like Jennings is getting loose under braking. May want to consider moving that brake bias a little bit forward.
Coming into the pits again.
Likely an incident count. Take a look at that timing tower as Jennings comes in. He's showing in the pit lane there. But Emberson pitted, and we haven't seen Greathouse pit yet. So we got Greathouse first in the Mazdas, followed by Ripple, Strouch, Gomoka, and then Emberson. So this is going to be interesting as far as strategy. So, I mean, you just saw great. Well, that's Ripple's time. Let's go ahead and use our stuff. Fancy stuff, Chris. And look at our last lap times here. Emberson 2:45, so likely needing. That's probably his out lap. We'll have to check in a few minutes to see if it's gonna pay dividends on getting him ahead of Greathouse.
We have a pass for the lead flag.
It looks like our friend Jason Ripple is actually heading into the pits right now, so that would have been the pass for the lead. He's coming down pit lane, so we've seen two drivers from the different classes there, our front runners, Ripple and Amberson, now coming in pits.
Seems like having 2 additional sets of tires is a lot to have to try and hold on to for a 2-hour endurance race.
And you know what we could do, Chris, is we're going to go ahead and take a look at Greathouse here. Get it off of the pit camera.
What's that?
Stuff, Chris. Don't worry about it. The
Okay.
cameraman
He's
is in the porta potty. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he was focusing on that RV.
So we're going to show some overlay here. In the bottom left-hand side, Greathouse is showing 3/4 of a tank of fuel still. So I would love to say that's accurate. I'm not really sure. We'll take a look at Emberson now. And Emberson's got a full tank, so you know, maybe it is a matter of managing your equipment. Take a look at now Barker, who's in the lead of the Arca cars. 3/4 fuel. So that might just be a graphic as far as time on track. I'm not really sure. But we're going to see that Emberson showing off track. Might be just a slight off track, but we're gonna have to see as you know these guys came in around. Let's go with the lap 30-minute mark, so about a quarter of the way. Whoa, Barker!
Ooh, collects it. Very, very nice driving.
See if these guys, you know, if they hold out, how long they hold out. They might want to do a 2-stop race, right? Come in. I don't even know how to divide by 2 stops. Be 45.
I think, sure, that sounds good to me.
Around 40 minutes, right? Would be 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, looking at Ripple. Emberson showing a lot of off tracks. That's a crazy.
It's a crazy.
Showing a black flag for Foster. He's heading in the pit lane. We have Phillips, Beish, and Shu in pit lane now. Let's go ahead and take a look at those cats. Shout out to our 15 viewers watching right now. Thank you for tuning in to Outlier TV's coverage of FootHills Sim Racing event number 2 at Road America with Arca and MX5s.
Yes, thank you. 16 viewers now. Reminder that we're trying to get to comments in the chat. If you would, we're working on our YouTube. How should we say? Trophies. So do subscribe, like, share, etc.
Got Greathouse coming into the pits now, so right around that 40-minute mark. This is going to be interesting here. Let's swap over our last lap time again. See if Emberson's running conservative. Might have had that off track that hurt him a little bit, but not seeing any large gain in the pit time there. So if they take tires now and take tires again in 40 minutes, then that would put them in, like, you know, the two stop run. So Barker coming in the pits now. We got the rest of Ripple, Strouch, and Glomica coming into the pits in the Mazdas. Daniels is now our new leader in Arca cars here.
And were we looking at Great House in the pits? Was that the white Mazda?
Yep. Great House just came in.
It looked like Great House was taking fuel only. You know, I would imagine for sure these Arca cars are hurt for tires, but I'm wondering, you know, these Mazdas, the MX5 here at this road course, I'm wondering if they can deal with only one tire change, one set of tires.
It's quite possible, but like, is that if you have tires and it takes that long to get fuel, would you not just put on tires?
I'm not sure.
Ask a
You're
friend.
right,
Asking
You're
a
right.
friend.
Okay.
We got any friends?
I'm asking you. You're a friend.
Oh man.
No, you're right. Of course, if they're in there for that length of time getting the fuel, that does make sense.
I think what's interesting too, Chris, and it's something that you mentioned earlier, is that you go in, you bolt on freshies, they're cold, and there's no grip. So we saw that with Jennings, is that Jennings was struggling with getting traction as it progressed out of the pits because the tires just didn't have heat in them.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of discipline probably to then remember, you know, hey, I gotta get these things warmed up. It's gonna take a few laps. You know, and speaking of which, it looks like Jennings black flag again, unfortunately, in the pit lane. I don't know if we're able to look at that or not, but it looks like Jennings has just had some issues. I'm assuming with just off tracks, maybe tire wear.
Yeah, so
Car looks good. Car looks in good shape.
looking at one of the replays here, this is 10 seconds before that warning, so I'm going to speed up the camera here. And woo, a little kiss of the tires. Love those kisses, don't you, Chris?
I do. A lot of love. The car looks in good shape, which is nice, but I'm assuming it was just incident points again. We needed to take another drive through.
Our leader,
or stop.
Daniel's coming in the pits now. And Ripple's got the lead. Pretty substantial lead, actually. He's got 12 seconds over Barker. But you got to remember, Barker just pitted a few laps previous, so that 247 that's showing up on the screen there that just flashed up is his out lap. You know what, Chris? It messes me up. You know, we're normally doing oval, short track, or intermediate speedways, and they're in a range of like 30 to 45 seconds a lap. And my brain just doesn't compute that a lap hasn't been completed when it's longer than that.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, it's Sunday, and
Yeah.
My brain just turns off anyway.
Through that.
But we still got a lot of racing.
This 12 machine of Ripple coming through the carousel turn. This is where they're completing that elevation coming through. I believe is it Mitchell's bottoms or corners or something? If only we had a graphic, Chris, that would tell us. What do you think?
That had all the turn numbers with their names. Let me pull that up.
Bottoms.
Boom.
Into Canada corner. Followed by Thunder Valley is the next slalom here. This is Bill Mitchell Bend. I don't know who Bill Mitchell is. Heard he was a great guy.
Bill Mitchell Bend, huh?
and then turn 14 where we go onto the front stretch and start the hill climb.
I'm at a good angle there. Good camera view.
It's like they come up to the peak of the hill and it kind of starts to come down a little bit through turn 1. Oh, we got an off track. That looked like Jennings.
Yeah, I believe it was Jennings.
See if we got any close battles that we can tune into. We got Shu and Phillips, Crouch and Gomulka, and Phillips and Caveman. So let's go ahead and look at Phillips. You see Shu right there. Looks like Caveman or Klein. Not as close as what our prompter is saying, but Phillips has run a pretty good race. He's sitting currently in the 7th spot, chasing Shu in 6th, and we got Beish in 5th. And you know, it's every time we start to put the camera, these guys get the broadcaster's curse.
Yeah, it's like they know that we're in the car with them.
We're in the car.
Well, this is good. I mean, you can see just how hard it is to manage. And then, of course, the speeds that are involved starting to slow down for some of these really tight turns. I mean, we're at, what, 160 right now and kicking. 175. Scrub off that speed and make this big sweeper. And you can see... great timing again, Robert, with this camera. Made the pass.
Great job by Chris Phillips of capitalizing on that opportunity, too.
Presented by Set Jarto Cheese.
Yeah. Oh, he shipped it, too. Oh, contact!
Whoa,
on
wow.
the 21, a Ripple. And he's turned right around. Tough break for Ripple. Let's see if we can get a replay of that.
And then lost the lead as well.
Yeah, Ripple was not in the lead because they all had just pitted. So let's get rid of
No,
these.
I meant, shoot, I'm sorry. For who we were watching made that pass for the lead and then lost it due to that little whoopsie-doo.
Yeah, that was Shu on Phillips. So they were running in 5th or 6th.
And Ripple gave the space. Wasn't expecting that at all, unfortunately.
I think Phillips, you can watch. He's not able to wrap the bottom here. Carrying too
Ripple
much.
Probably could have maybe opened that up just a little bit, but that was Ripple's turn.
That was.
It was. That was Ripple's corner. Didn't expect that driver to dive in like that, but yeah, it looks like the car is in reasonable shape, which is good.
Yeah,
for Ripple can continue on.
What I like here is you can see that 21 machine waiting to safely re-enter the track. So just respectful driving there by that 21 machine, and perhaps he could have widened up the entry of the corner, give that Arca car that really doesn't turn a little bit more real estate, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do now?
Yes. I was going to say 100% on the compliments you gave to Ripple for sure. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a nosedive there by Phillips, but that is a hard corner when you're carrying that much speed. But I'll say this as well. I don't believe Ripple lost anything as far as position. It was just a stack up of Arca cars. So looks like he's still alive and kicking, cars in good shape, and didn't lose any positions.
No, he's got he was closer to Emberson, or was he ahead of Emberson when that happened? I thought I saw the red car, the 83 car of Emberson, get by him. That's what we bring to you at mediocrebroadcasting.com.
Joker. I was hoping for subpar, but we're only mediocre still.
Is subpar better?
It's in the neighborhood.
I'll go back to Shoot and Phillips. Tight racing for them still. They're coming up on the 24 Foster, who is a lap down.
Comments from Paige Varney / Phillips. Don't wreck now, Mr. Phil. Ooh, good battle again here. Robert, I don't know what you think. Maybe we go to the cockpit of number 6.
You ask and you come on, blow him by Great House.
I love the car management and the counter steering. Great.
And here comes the leader, Great House. I hope he clears them.
Ooh, had a little bit of extra space there on track to save the car from damage, I'll say. And I'll tell you what, Robert, every time we make a decision, you or I, to go to someone's car, we see good action, but usually bad news for a driver. So I don't know. I like it for the action. I don't like it for the incident that we see. But anyway, we saw it live again.
Yeah, I'm showing the Great House has an off-track incident. I'm going to pop over that. I'm not sure if that was a result. Back on.
You need to back that thing up, as they say.
It's surprising because it's normally catching it. So this is. Okay, let's get rid of these overlays. Speed it up. And here's the.
Ooh.
Oh, he had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? And look,
let's go back one more time here. I just want to see the brake lights here on Great House. I just want to watch that. So coming around
on the brakes.
Yeah, trying, not sure where to go.
And
yeah, you're right. 100% just donezo.
And if you look,
it looks like he probably didn't get too much damage, I'm hoping.
That left front has got damage for sure.
Well, if you're gonna wreck, you might as well get wrecked in the right before the pit entry.
That's our leader, Chris. That's our leader.
I'm upset about it. I'm just saying, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Robert, take me away.
You want me to sing like a country song or something after that, or what?
Yeah, I do. Just let's go to something else.
It didn't appear to damage Phillips' car, but he seems to be overdriving slightly as he's getting that car all twisted up. Great House falls back to the 5th spot. Rolled into the pits to get that car repaired. We're going to have to see if he's able to get back up where Emberson is and Ripple. Significant track time to gain with over an hour left in the 2-hour race.
Well, it was at a probably the best spot you can have an incident. So we know Great House didn't use a fast repair. So Great House can come in, check that fast repair, reset, take some fuel. Anyway, has all the options available. So I think Great House can still, make a comeback. A podium, yes, for sure.
I mean, horrible luck for that 48 machine. Let's go ahead and hop on our new 3rd place driver, the 585 of Strouch.
Robert, like you said, we're not even halfway through. I think a lot can happen. So, lots of stuff going on. I wouldn't say driver fatigue setting in just yet, but, choices, of course. Maybe some car damage plays a factor. Tires play a factor. So we got a long way to go. I think we'll see some good stuff coming from these drivers.
Take a look at the 02 of Daniels. Just showed an off track. broadcaster's curse is real.
We got to break that curse.
That last sip is brought to you by creatine, the chalky powder that's in my mouth. Chris, we talked about the Watkins Glen event with the GT3s and the street stocks. This one here, event number 2 at Road America with these ARCA cars and MX5s, are proven to be pretty sweet so far. Definitely a handful watching these guys drive the ARCA car around the track, sliding around. The MX5s, I think, are kind of what I anticipated, just kind of like stuck to the track. A lot of on throttle time, but these ARCA cars, they're definitely wowed up. I wonder what FootHills might have in store for their third event.
No, Robert, I totally agree with you. I touched on it just a little bit when we were kind of getting started, but I think the organizers, the admin of the league, like really thought about what they wanted to do for this next race. They put a lot of consideration into what would put on a good show. I think they made some great decisions here. I mean, Road America is an awesome track, and they made a great decision with 2 different car classes that are a little bit more similar, I think, that can compete a little bit better with each other, and both have some benefits that can deliver good racing. I mean, the ARCA car, of course, is very quick in a straight line, as we've seen. A little bit harder to manage through these turns. But the MX5, the Mazda, a little bit slower, of course, but can really just, have a lot of momentum. Just keep your foot in it and just carry out through these corners. And it just puts on a good show. I think FootHill Racing, they did it right. They did it right the first time. They refined some of their ideas and put together another great event. It's cool.
Yeah, so yeah, and here we are again, right? Like Outlier TV bringing you some great overlays, some 4K broadcasting. So if you're not clicking that gearbox in the bottom right-hand side of the screen and putting it to 4K, you're just doing your eyes a disservice. So stop it. Just click the gearbox.
Yeah, I clicked mine. Thank you, Robert, for reminding me.
Got a little bit of a battle here for the 4th spot. Looks like Beish has caught up to the 04 car of Burke.
Now, Robert, do I dare say it? I say we do it because it just gives us some good broadcasting. Let's go to. You know what I want. Of course, I do. Let's go to Beish and let's entertain ourselves.
I don't know if we've seen him really yacht out the car.
Brought to you by Mission Tortilla Chips.
Oh man, Chris.
That's a tricky corner right there, by the way. We'll revisit that, but especially in these cars where the tires are worn, hot, and these cars just want to blast through it, you can really get loose and go off track and destroy your car. So these guys are doing a good job of managing that particular corner.
Yeah, this whole section there where they come through turns 12, 13, and now 14 up to the front stretch, it seems like the ARCA car doesn't really transition the weight really well from the shifting lateral load as it goes back and forth.
Yeah, they roll easily. Black flag there by Foster's. Assuming incident points, probably?
Yeah, I'm showing that they both crashed and have incident points. Looks like Beish is going to break the broadcaster's curse. I mean, how much longer do we have to stay on him?
We can move on, my friend. Just thought we'd see some good, some good racing. Black flag by Jennings again, unfortunately.
He's going to get DQ'd from the event soon.
EQ brought to you by Dairy Queen.
Oh, man. Guy needs to take a timeout.
I've had too much coffee.
Take a look at this instant replay here with Alex Foster. I am going to speed it up again. Just here's coming up on. Oh,
Oh boy.
oh, ow.
Yeah, and that happens. I think that's, I think maybe the first incident we've seen, well, not the first, but we haven't seen many of them where like these ARCA cars are trying to battle, get mixed up in some of these these Mazda cars, and yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not. Is that Benke? No, that's Carlos Sama here. This is what you're seeing. They
Oh,
both
okay.
got black flags. They both showed a crash. Tough break for them.
Yeah, it's a bummer for Carlos Sama. I mean, it's tough. He's trying to manage his own race. I mean, some of these ARCA drivers just need to just be mindful of some of the slower cars. It's tough when you're in the heat of the battle, though. I certainly understand that.
He's doing a great job of keeping the wheels under it. He's still chasing that 04 Burke. Hasn't really gained too much time over the last few laps, but Burke enters in the pits. So Burke, I don't remember when Burke came last in, but I feel like he was one of the later pitters. I'm not sure
Looks like we have
why he's coming in.
Jennings serving another black flag incident I saw in the pits. Comments from Cake Lady Phillips. I have a strange emoji. And then commenting on the incident at the same corner, we saw some other incidents, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's proven to give trouble to these ARCA cars that don't have the same braking capacity, really.
Foster in the pits right now serving a black flag.
Well, Foster was the one that was involved there with Carlos Sama. Everyone's pretty spread out, Chris.
You want to flash the old track map graphic?
The elevation one, are you thinking?
No. The actual like track map, so we can just see sort of where everyone is. Yeah, just kind of gave everyone, the fans, this is what the people want.
The closest battle here might be Strouch and Greathouse. As we're coming down into turn one, we got Barker with a whole bunch of steam. Getting by Greathouse there. It looks like Greathouse and Strouch have closed up the gap on Emberson because they were 39 seconds before for Greathouse. So either Greathouse is flying and Stretch is about the same, but yeah, interesting battle kind of storyline we'll have to keep our eyes on as that margin starts to narrow. Because Emberson pitted really early. It was like right at that 30-minute mark.
So Roberto, you know what I'm gonna request.
Oh man, you're needy.
I am. It's what the people want, though.
Like you have telepathy or something.
I'm telepathic. Good stuff. A lot of gravel on the track there.
Yeah, it's interesting as even as the track gets rubbered up and these guys are going on and off the track, you can just see it fly up right in the windshield in front of you.
Now this is an exciting part of the track here, especially with these cars.
Mitchell's bottom.
Mitchell's bottom. Good opportunity for passing.
The drag race down into a right-hand turn here. Greathouse has got the bottom side. You can see Strouch he's got to give it up. That's
I
the
believe he
preferred line.
has.
Yeah, he has. Pop back
Yeah,
to
great
his car.
pass by Great House. Nice. Well, we thought we'd see some great things by Great House. Unfortunate accident or incident, but I think we'll see some more good racing out of Great House as we continue here in the second hour.
Well, Great House right now on the data that I have is running almost a second to 2 seconds a lap faster than Emberson, our leader.
The competición.
You see, senor.
A cool little graphic, by the way, there with the fuel.
Yeah, and it's also showing their RPM, so these cars top out at about 8 grand. Emberson off track. Let's pop over to him. Actually, he's showing maybe more egregiously off track. I'm not sure. Let's do this. Let's check it out. Speed it up here. Maybe it's not as egregious. No, it's that same corner. Everyone's
Not so bad.
Yeah, but still, like, you're in the gravel, and we're talking about lap times, and Emberson is giving up lap time. Steven Shu passing him. Going through the turns there.
So Great House, I'm sorry, Robert. Great House is about 30 seconds behind Emberson, correct?
Yep, 31 approximately.
And you said earlier maybe 2 seconds quicker each lap. Is that correct?
It's ranging in 1 to 2 seconds. We'll wait for these guys to both cross the line. So you'll see the time pop up for Emberson in a second. (2:36:34), and
So we have to wait about 30 seconds.
Yeah, count in your head, Chris.
Okay, I'm already at 10, 11. Okay, I'll count to myself.
Slow it
Okay,
down.
I can do that. I can do that. I mean, I think we have plenty of time, of course. So, Great House, I'm sorry, can definitely close in on that gap.
I mean, yeah, they've done 30 laps now, or the Arca cars have done 30 laps in just over an hour, and anything's possible. You said it. There's lots of time left. There's just over 50 minutes left since we mentioned it last time. Here's Great House here, and it looks like when we were talking, Chris, he had already crossed the line because he's coming down into turn 5.
I see that. 30 seconds. Notice we have Foster with a black flag at the moment. I saw a little window pop up. That's a Great House, unfortunately. Black flag in the pit lane now.
Oh, that's you mean Jennings? Jennings might be
Yes.
out of the race.
Jennings, and then, like I said, I show Foster here on screen with a black flag.
Yep. Last time. Yeah, so you can see Great House 2:34:23, so 2 seconds that lap. So, when he's bouncing around between 1 and 2 seconds of time, 15 laps, we might see some crazy battle at the end in these MX5.
Wild and crazy battles.
Oh, jeez. Somebody save me. Chris has
It's
had
the
too
coffee
much.
speaking.
Yeah, Chris has had too much. I wonder, let's drop down the track map here. We got Phillips showing crash. Let's go ahead and take a look at that before pop over to anything else. Speed it up.
Ooh, that would be unfortunate.
And here,
That's
the
a
same turn.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It really is. Ooh. Yeah,
Lock,
you can see that's not going to work out well.
yeah, locked it up. But I'm not
Oh,
sure where the crash is though.
that was much better than I thought.
Yeah, maybe just being off the track, but it sometimes it flags us for a crash because the speed settings. Sorry, the car hits a minimum speed.
Okay.
You see Strouch here on the bumper of Great House, but he's not willing to let him go.
You know what I think we should do?
Yeah, working on it.
I knew you'd get to that.
Yes,
This is what the people want.
my mom told me I was smart when I was young. You know, I just waited a lot of time before it actually was like, oh, that's how you do stuff. You
Hey,
know?
we're all smart in 3rd grade.
Right?
Yeah, this is always a good opportunity here. Let's see what these guys can do.
It seems like Devin here in that 585 has got the draft of Great House, and that's going to benefit Great House as well, because they got the arrow. He's getting like a little arrow help from the 585.
Well, Great House will take it because he's got some time to make up. And Robert, there's the graphic we thought we'd see soon, unfortunately.
EQ for Jennings. That'll end his day, unfortunately. The Infinite X.
Infinite X.
I think that's Beish coming up behind them. See if we got any close car battles we can. The one we're watching now is Great House and Strouch. Ripple and Great House 12 seconds apart. Emberson and Ripple 15 seconds apart. So yeah, there's not a lot of tight battles. Go ahead and pop over to Phillips, just kicking up some dirt there.
So I'm thinking here, a lot of these drivers came in around 40 minutes. And obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but I think they came in around 40 minutes for fuel, and most of them maybe took a set of tires, at least these Arca cars. So I'm thinking maybe like in 8 minutes or so. I don't know. I'm trying to do some math. Am I wrong? I don't know, but we'll start seeing them roll in again.
Yeah, I would think so. You can see we've got the graphic up there on the right-hand side is laps since last pit. So we're showing Barker 15 laps, 17 laps for Ripple. Ripple coming into the pits now, so that'll update with him probably taking tires. Yep, so it looks like you called it. And if you think about that time, they're doing about 2-minute laps. Ripple short pitted over Barker last time, so I'm hoping that Ripple's got enough fuel here to finish the race with him pitting with over 40, I guess 45 minutes of the race left.
Well, I guess we could eventually, when we go to watch his, we'll pull up the graphic, but we'll be able to see like fuel. We can kind of keep an eye on that as he progresses through the race. Shoot, I was going to say something and I forget now. Oh, I was just going to comment on these ARCA car drivers will probably feel relieved to put a new set of tires on. Hopefully, we'll see these guys be disciplined enough to warm them up properly and, continue on with some good racing.
Emerson heading into the pits here now in the 83 in the Mazda car. But Chris, just for the fans, maybe you can announce Frank Klein's team name for me. What, can you translate that for me?
I can translate it. It's Nine Shiza.
The Shiza.
Oh. I guess you're right, because nine, it's kind of, I would think, like maybe German. So Nine Shiza. Say what? You do what you do, and I'm going to do what I do.
A little bumper
pull it up.
From the Shiza on the 444 of Carlos Sama.
Let's see here, Robert, are we still on
9? I took it down. You took it
down. Pull it back up. Yeah, because it's for the fans.
For the fans.
Hope I don't get like 39 pop-ups.
And Frank was in the last race, and I believe he was running the street stock. So very interesting to see, him return, support FootHills, and be out here today. Baish into the pits now. Hiding behind the wall. Probably going to see tires on both sides. Right side of the car goes up. And he's away. Currently running in the 5th spot in the ARCA class. Ron Ripple off track in 2nd. So just before that pit stop there, Emberson was our leader. He came down the pits.
All right. Let me know when you're ready for me to give me my quick shout out here.
The Nine Shiza.
The Nine Shiza. It's an Autosport team here. Group of skilled drivers, mechanics, support staff, cars, specially designed and equipped vehicles for endurance racing. So yeah, we won't go any deeper than that. But yeah, so they're just a group of guys. It's a team.
Legit.
And yeah, Nine Shiza Autosport. So yeah, hey, shout out to you guys.
So we got a new leader in the Mazdas. That's the 21 of Ron Ripple. Currently doing the dance. In the lead of the class, 5 seconds back is Greathouse and Strouch. Strouch hasn't let off of Greathouse's bumper yet, only sitting about 5 to 6 tenths back. Emberson was our leader, who's now 49 seconds back of Ripple. So we know that the 4 cars in front of Emberson have to pit.
So, Robert, I tuned out for a minute because I was doing my deep dive here. So I see we got Greathouse has made it up to 2nd place. Sorry, because I wasn't watching, and is only 4 seconds behind Ripple.
Yes.
So Greathouse is doing great. Is flying.
Yeah, he's absolutely dialed in, knocking down those lap times, and we might get that fairy tale battle at the end. I'm not saying somebody's the hero or the villain, but it's definitely going to be a fight for that trophy.
Well, at the moment, he's getting a trophy, but he wants that gold one.
Old one. Go ahead and take a look at the 04. Burke, who comes out of Georgia. Barker coming in the pits now about 7-8 minutes after Ripple in the 12 machine in the Arca. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pit stop time gets ate up. We'll hop into the pits with Barker right now. Long drive down into your pit box. Barker coming out of the North Carolinas. And it looks like
Cool looking safety car, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
a Beamer.
Yeah.
Barker 17 seconds back. It's going to be up to Daniel, or sorry, up to Ripple to manage his equipment, because Daniel's still got to come into the pits here.
The Ripple family dominating so far today.
They about their business. It's going to be an interesting conversation at the dinner table, isn't it? What'd you do
I know what I'm
today?
going to talk. I know what I'm going to talk about later.
I won. That's what I did. What'd you do? I won.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on these lap times and, well, just these laps, of course. Here, these guys just put on fresh tires. So we'll see how well they manage. And knowing that they have to put in just a little bit of slower lap time to get these tires warmed up.
Down into the Canada corner. Let's see what the camera guy has to say about that. Turn 13.
Do you like the Canada corner?
Yeah.
I figured you would.
Final turn 14 onto the front stretch. There is no front stretch, Cameron.
There's a tree.
Down into turn 1. I missed it.
What do we have here? Oh, we're looking at it. I'm sorry. Yeah. The 12 and the 24.
You can see them come into the camera angles there.
And we have, what, the 46 and the 6.
And Ripple's going to catch the 24 rather quickly. That's the 24 Foster. Turn 9 is going to be the carousel turn, as they're going to be entering that now. Coming out of the carousel. And then your next favorite turn, Chris, is called the kink.
I do like that one. Thanks for bringing that up. Ripple, black flag.
Oh no.
We'll have to look into that.
Wonder if he got just too many incidents.
Ripple was our leader earlier.
He still had to come into the pits, so that's actually going to make Greathouse the leader. Now, I think Greathouse still has to pit. Go ahead and see if he had an off track. Not seeing an off track for Ron. Back up here with 46 of Barker. Currently in second spot, 14 seconds behind our leader, Jason Ripple, who we're just dancing around the cameras with. Ron Ripple's flag is gone, but he is substantially behind. You think there's any shot here for the 46 machine to catch the 12 of Ripple?
I do, for sure. I mean, we have 35 minutes of racing. Tires will degrade. I think for sure that Christopher Barker there can put on pressure, giving opportunities for a whoopsie daisies to his competitor in front. We'll see. I definitely think there's an opportunity.
Yeah, they're pretty close in lap times. They're trading them back and forth. We're nearing just over 30 minutes of that racing time left, and I think this is kind of that bubble of that driver fatigue where it might set in for these guys who don't have a stable rhythm.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, I think this is the marker now where we'll start to see driver fatigue, tires wearing out. Decision making, I think, is going to be a big factor. So I think we're going to see some stuff.
Barker coming to lap the 6 of Phillips. A little hiccup there. Greathouse keeping a lead over the 83 of Foster, or sorry, of Emberson.
Yeah, a major lead.
I believe, Chris, that Greathouse has. Does he have to come in still?
Well, I'm confused here. Why is it showing he's 10th? My bad. I'm sorry. I'm with you now. 10th overall. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I was wondering that as well. I was thinking about that, if Greathouse will have to come in again. I don't know. That's what's super cool about that graphic, at least with the fuel on board. So we'll monitor that. Just under 35 minutes. We will see. But it's good to see Greathouse at least in that position at the moment, considering he had that unfortunate incident. So I'm glad that he's able to recover from that and then, get on the podium. Right now he's in first. We'll see how his race progresses.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, like, facing adversity like that you bounce back. You have to bounce back. And,
for sure.
Greathouse has done an awesome job of maintaining his composure, hitting his marks, setting blistering lap times, and showing that, just like in race 1 at Watkins Glen, he's a contender when he shows up to race.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think all you can do is, especially a race like this where it's 2 hours, is you just focus on each lap at a time and just try and put in clean laps, cut seconds away from your competitor, and then next thing you know, you're catching them, you're passing them, and he went from being behind to on the podium to now leading his class. So yeah, kudos to Greathouse.
And Ripple opening up a little bit more of a gap over Barker. It was 12 seconds-ish before. It's gone up to 17 seconds. So it's looking like Ripple in the Arca is setting sails and checking out.
Shout out in the chat from Lori Daniel. Great racing today. Yeah, I agree, Lori. Thank you. I think we've seen some good stuff. Um, I think lots of excitement still to be delivered here in the last 30 minutes of this race. But yeah, we've seen some good racing. It's a good league with some good ideas on setting up these good like inter-class races.
It is very unique too, and it's not something that you commonly see a lot of, and I think that's what is gravitating about Foothill Sim Racing is what they're trying to do in the iRacing community space. Burke coming into the pits now, likely going to be his last stop. Gonna give the 27 machine a beige. The 4 spot. Currently in third is the 02 of Daniels. Bumper, I think. Didn't he? Was Daniels in the last race?
I'd say what I don't remember.
Well,
I don't
what about
remember.
top 10 free chalky milk? Does that ring a bell?
It doesn't.
Oh man.
Which chalky milk are we talking here?
I'm pretty sure that was his bumper in the street stock.
No, I agree. I think I do remember that. Can we get a side view, or what kind of chalky milk are we talking?
I don't know, Chris.
Can we get a different perspective here? No. 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 Well, he's on a podium. No, he's not on the podium. He is on the podium. Well, I have to ask what his recommendation is. I'm curious. Talking Yoo-hoo.
Rocky Milk. Barker slipping back a little bit more. 21 seconds behind Ripple. Daniels came up flying past the car on the left-hand side there. Not sure who it was. Too busy thinking about chalky milk.
Mm-hmm.
But we might have Daniels grab the P2 spot over Ripple. Or sorry, over Barker. Crouch showing off track.
Ace in the pits. Thought we saw Beige leave the pits not too long ago. I'm probably totally wrong on that.
I think my tracker is going to be missed. Yeah, you're right. Last pits 7 laps ago. Interesting.
Let's see what we're getting at here.
Quick
Just a splash there.
Great House showing in the pits now. That's Emberson. Here's
With a
Great House.
42-second gap. I would imagine he can probably splash and go and be able to maintain that position.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if how much time he loses here. Go ahead and grab Emberson to see where he is on the track.
I was going to say, let's stick with Great House just for a minute, Robert, if we can.
I lied. He's Emberson's coming by the pit entrance, and you can see Great House still in the pits.
Yeah. Let's
getting
stick
rights.
With Great House. He's got both. He got lefts already.
Gonna end up.
He's in second.
Waiting for fuel.
Well, Great House comes out with 25 minutes to go in second place, fully serviced, I should say. So we'll see how far back.
We don't know if Emberson has to come in for a splash, though, because looking at Emberson, he pitted 7 laps ago, which is almost, 20 minutes in the ARCA car. So he might be tight on fuel. I don't even
We'll
trust.
see.
I don't even trust the graphic I have, Chris.
I'll tell you, even if he stays out, I mean, we saw Great House earlier really just chop that gap away. So now with a new set of tires and 25 minutes to go, I have a feeling Great House definitely has the advantage here to regain that lead.
Anything's possible. 15 seconds isn't a lot. Or, we saw some of the battling where when somebody's in that chase position, it's less pressure to be a chaser than a leader. And
Yes, I totally agree.
Emberson's got that pressure on him where it's like, I gotta hit my marks. I gotta not make mistakes. So that might work out in Great House's favor for sure.
I think so too, and especially when Great House starts to close that gap, and if Emberson, definitely has more worn tires, where Great House will have that advantage. I think it's going to be very difficult to defend. So we'll just see. Like you said, anything can happen, of course, but this will be interesting to follow. But again, I think just focusing on one lap at a time and not necessarily the 25 minutes to go, just focus on lap at a time, hitting your marks, like you said, and just putting in some good driving can really be the key to, survival.
Absolutely. Survival of the fittest.
That's right. I the tiger, dog.
less than 24 minutes left, Chris. I don't know. I'm seeing here, we'll hop on the 46 of Barker. That was Daniels. This is Barker here. Barker is starting to fall back a little bit more from Jason Ripple and kind of drift into the clutches of the O2 of Daniels.
I think that can give us a good show here. I mean, that's 11 seconds apart.
Yep.
Again, I think just it's a matter of putting in good, clean laps, harder to defend than to attack. So we'll see. We'll monitor that gap, of course, and see if that gap closes. That will give us a good show, I think, towards the end of this race as well.
Got base showing as an off track. Not a significant gap in his time there. He was closer to the 04 of Burke, only about 10 seconds back, but now showing about 26 seconds back. Burke and Daniels had a great battle earlier on, but it seems to have gone to the wayside, with Daniels showing that he's got a little bit more poise over the day.
I'm looking at your track map that you pulled up there. There's some space in between a lot of these drivers, so that's allowing them to not feel the pressure and to just put in clean or consistent laps. So we'll see what happens as we progress. We might not see as much hijinks on track per se, but we'll just monitor the rest of this race, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the 00 Steven Shu coming up on the second place runner Great House in the Mazda. And so Steven Shu and Joseph Greathouse coming through turns 13, turn 14. Emberson is not that far ahead of Greathouse. It's really just a straightaway. So you can see on that track map, the 33 of Frank Klein is just passing Emberson. And Emberson's entering turn 1. And just as Emberson entered turn 1 and left it, Grace House here is entering turn 1. So, I mean, that's not in the grand scheme of a 2-minute lap track. That's what 1/12 of the distance behind. That's not a lot.
I'm going to point out the fact that you use math, let alone fractions, on that. It's really good. You're able to do that on a Sunday afternoon.
Thanks, buddy. Some things warm my heart, you know? That was one of them.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm looking at this gap is coming down here just a little bit at a time. Not major strides here, but Great House is taking tenths. It looks like almost at every turn out of Emberson. So giving us a little bit of excitement there just to see how soon. I imagine he will catch him at some point, but we're 20 minutes away. So we'll see, but like I said, taking maybe tenths away at each turn.
And now you're
so
starting
that'll be fun in the closing laps
to see some of the tides turn, right? Because to me, you had Great House Pit, you got the 04 of Burke looking for real estate to get around Great House, but Great House pitted, Emberson pitted earlier. The same thing with Ripple. Ripple pitted earlier than Barker, who's up in the battle for the Arca cars. But if you look at the lap times on the screen on the far right-hand side, H got a black flag for incidents. You see that Barker is now showing a little bit more speed than our leader, Ripple. And Great House is about almost 2 seconds quicker than Emberson in the Mazdas.
Yeah, it's starting to come down quickly. And yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Robert. Barker's gap is coming down as well on Ripple. So
he was at 22 seconds. Like, what was it? Just a few minutes ago, right? So, I mean, we might have one heck of a battle in both the classes here.
And it reminds me of what we saw in the last race, the first race, where we saw good battles for first place in both classes towards the end. So it looks like we're going to start to get that show again. That may be sooner here in the Mazda class, but yeah, it's starting to happen. And I was going to say, Robert, just for kicks here, why don't we jump to Emberson and then see if we can see his fuel on board and see if it looks like he has the possibility for sure to make it to the end, or if it's likely he might have to stop. That might kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at.
Anything's possible, Chris. You see Great House
we got Great House. We know, yeah, we know he's good to go. Looks like Emberson, if this graphic is true, 100% here.
Might just
he's
be
gonna
like
be good to go.
It might be just a time-bound graphic. I'm gonna have to do some more analysis on it. But we're gonna just have to keep watching, Chris. I mean, that's the only option here. We're stuck in this together.
I'll see black flag here for Klein.
Nine Scheiße.
Go back to our other graphic, Robert, for the not the tower view. I'm sorry, the other graphic you run. And we saw, of course, good battles earlier in the race with Emberson and Great House, and I hope that they just offer some good racing. I mean, of course, to the fans here, we're not necessarily rooting for Great House to win the race, but we do want to see that gap close in and just see if we can see some good racing. It's always exciting to see what the guy in the lead, the driver in the lead, can do to fend off the competition. So, again, we'll monitor that and watch that, and hopefully the fans can get a good show. But they did put on some fantastic driving earlier in the race.
And even here, you're looking at that timing tower, and Barker has broke into the sub 20 seconds as far as a gap. So he's slowly closing in.
Yeah, it's coming down. If you look at it, tenths are starting to tick away as well at each turn. So
And as far as mentality goes too, that's the, you've got a spotter, you got a crew chief, you've got all this data coming to you. That's got to wear you down mentally. And I don't know, as a driver in these endurance races, if it's possible to have that endurance. And we got Emerson under fire from a fellow Mazda car.
I'm I'm sure Emberson is, yeah, he's feeling
He's
that.
he's just letting them go by, and that's our leader Ripple in the Arca, and that's Carlos Sama.
Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, he's trying to maintain pace, of course, but I was thinking just for sort of sanity and stress, maybe why he didn't just kind of let him by earlier and just, not have to feel like he had to defend him.
And that cost. Carlos Sama does not have the speed that Emberson does, and now look at the gap with Greathouse. Greathouse is only less than 9 seconds back. That's
Person is giving up more time, I think, trying to battle with Carlos Sama.
well, Carlos Sama is able to stay with Emberson because of the draft pull. Emberson's got to break the draft here, and it looks like he's got enough gap now that draft is broken. But I don't know how I feel about that overall. Is how hard Carlos Sama was running our leader Emberson, being 2 laps down.
Agree with you. I was thinking about that as well. Hey, we're just broadcasting.
What do
I would
we
like
know?
to think of that.
What do
Well,
we know?
we don't know anything. I know I don't know anything, but I would like to think that maybe if I was 2 laps down, I would probably just kind of let the lead driver go, give a little bit of space, and continue on. But hey, anything can happen in racing, of course, and everyone has their own strategy.
Everyone does have their own strategy, Chris. We got less than 15 minutes to go. Parker teetering around 18 to 19 seconds gap. Daniels 29 back from Ripple. Burke a little bit further back, 143, and then Philip Shu, Beish is out, Klein is out. Looks like they might have fell victim to mechanical issues. Man, that's not a lot of time. We're going to pull up our lap times again. Just see what the last lap times were around. You see Emberson lost almost 4 seconds the last lap.
Robert, and just real quick to speak to that, we're looking at these drivers here, Beish and Klein out. You never know, I guess, what is going to happen to drivers in front of you. So just to kind of come to the defense of what I said earlier about Carlos Sama, he never, you just don't know. So I guess, there could be accidents, wrecks up ahead, take drivers out, and, you might go from 7th to 5th or to 4th, or, you never know a podium. So, you never give up. And maybe that's why, he's thinking, look, I'm in it, I'm staying with it, and not just necessarily concede. All different types of thoughts, of course, and strategies for these drivers.
And here we got kind of like a historic tale. We got Greathouse and Phillips doing the dance again. You might have remembered the earlier contact with Greathouse and Phillips, where Phillips lost control of the car. Greathouse had nowhere to go, which stole the lead away from Greathouse and has given Emberson the chance at the trophy.
Yes, Robert, that was an interesting thing. And what I think is going to be a next interesting thing is we have Greathouse catching up to Carlos Sama. We'll see what kind of opportunities are arise.
Coming down to the Canada corner. Greathouse on the outside, ships it deep. And that's going to be a fast pass, right? Greathouse has gotten it done. He's coming to turn 14 onto the front stretch here. We'll see if Carlos Sama is able to get the draft, but I think he's a little too far back to pull.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he's.
Whoa, what's going on here? 6 seconds. I'm not sure. Just looking at the gap for Emberson, you could see in the far off distance of the camera shot that Greathouse is now 6 seconds back. I don't know if Emberson's trying to save fuel.
Well, I think he's just cutting away at that gap. I don't know if he's necessarily saving. I think that just Greathouse, we saw him come in. He took tires. He's ready to go. I think he's just closing in. And, once you see your competitor, I think that gives you that extra little juice to know that this is potential. On the flip side, Emberson's seeing Greathouse and thinking, okay, look, man, I need this 10 minutes to go by as quickly as possible. And then Robert here on the flip side here, I'm looking at, the Arca class here, and it looks like the gap opened, I should say, between Barker and Ripple. We're at 21 seconds, where earlier it was at about 18.
Yeah, and the gap between Barker and Daniels has narrowed because now Daniels is within 8 seconds of Barker. Oh, Ripple in the pits. I'm not sure if that was the storyline we had in mind, Chris.
I'm assuming he's in the pits for a splash. I don't know if we can pull up that graphic. Does it show his fuel? Is it too late for us to see?
So 3/4 of a tank there. It might be set to like a time lapse, depending on fuel.
We'll see. I'm assuming he's coming in for a splash. I'm thinking you would agree with that.
Oh, absolutely.
That will make this double interesting, like we were hoping for.
Barker and Daniels are already gone. That's a lot of fuel. Stayed here too long, Chris. I've just stayed.
Well, let's go. Let's move on. That is a very long pit.
That's a lot of fuel. He might, the crew chief might have put in too many cans of fuel. And under 4 seconds now for Greathouse and Emberson. 7.3 seconds between Daniels and Barker. And you see the lap time slashing up there. Almost 2 seconds again by Greathouse over Emberson for lap times. That's a crazy hot sauce. But
now, Greathouse and Emberson are going to have these quick cars coming up behind them.
Yeah, we'll stay here for a second. That looks like the 24 of Foster, followed by our former leader, the 12 of Ripple.
These Arca cars are going to catch Emberson right in the turn, it looks like.
And not where he Oh, he shuts it down. That was not what he wanted. That's going to cost him big time. Ripple's not waiting. Foster wants through as well. Oh,
that's a tough spot right there to try and have to deal with that. Wow.
Foster.
Boy, he's taking it to these guys. That was pretty cool. That was exciting.
I don't know, man. He lost everything.
He lost, some time, but yeah, that was exciting to see, at least having just a little battle through those corners there with the Arca cars.
Yeah, definitely Emberson. He did give real estate. Foster almost slid up into him in that 24 machine, and then Ripple got by, took Foster with him, and then Foster almost lost it in front of Emberson. So, maybe karma is knocking on Greathouse's door and saying, "Hey, I owe you one." I'm going to give Emberson a little bit of trouble so it balances out. And Foster off track. And you can see the gravel on the track.
Now Daniels up ahead is closing that gap really quick on Barker.
Let's pop over there for a second. We'll check on Daniels. Barker showing off track. Benke off track. We can do the last lap time here and the leader's last lap, and it'll be relative. So Daniels was about 3/10, 4/10 slower, or sorry, faster than our leader, as he goes by the 21 of Ripple.
And Robert, we see Emberson just went into the pits.
And that's Murder She Wrote.
Yeah, I guess the gas graphic wasn't 100% accurate. So I'm assuming he probably needed some gas. And we'll see where he comes out in relation to Strouch.
I mean, he's going to be behind Strouch. He might be ahead of Ripple and in that 21 Mazda and be able to grab third spot. But I don't think Daniels is going to have enough time to grab the win over or even content. Whoa, Daniels. Broadcaster's curse. Daniels is not going to have enough time to make a run on the 46 of Barker.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Well, yeah, barely. Daniels is just barely in the mirror of Barker. But I'm sure Barker's knows he has 5 minutes, 4 minutes now. Just,
basically 3 laps, right?
Yeah, keep your head down. Just put in these clean laps here and know that I can take the win. Doesn't have to push super hard to maintain the lead.
No, got to be clean. Like he had. Barker's ran a good race because he stayed at those 40 minute marks to kind of narrow out the pit stops. And, Ripple and Emberson both in the 2 different classes, they kind of short pitted a little bit. And I think that's kind of created that situation for them to need a splash.
Was Barker on pole or was Barker second?
Barker was on pole.
Okay.
Let's hear. We can grab this. Started first. Currently first. So. Fastest car in queue. Looks like he might have a shot at the win. But also, he was our winner at Watkins Glen for the street stocks. Oh!
Barker knows that long straight is coming up. Should just keep it safe through these few zigzags here and just complete the pass. Oh, yeah. He's pushing still. He's
got to push. You can't leave it on the table. You can, we're watching him, Chris. We can't leave. Barker can't leave it on the table. And I mean, what a story really is that, we seen Barker getting a little bit of trouble, kind of fall back a bit. But once again, perseverance and patience pays dividends to where this 46 machine's running on the track.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And hats off to Daniels. Daniels ran in the race before for that free chalky milk, and here he is again. I don't think he podiumed last time. I'm not sure. I remember the podium part, but we have some returning drivers like Phillips, Shu, Beish, Greathouse is returning, Klein returning,
Benke.
And then Benke was in the race too. Yeah, he was.
I believe so. Yes.
A lot of returning drivers. And just under 6 seconds now. I think that's Carlos Sama getting the sauce from Daniels. Emberson
almost coming up here to last lap, Robert. I assume this league runs weekly events or practices. I mean, I know we're putting on a special event here, but I would assume Foothill.
FootHills is actually a racing team, and then what they've created is a special event. So these guys are working as a team in different racing leagues, and then hosting events here. So I mean, pretty impressive. We got a 20-car turnout. Would have liked, like for me, I would have liked to seen a little bit more, just so there's some more battle for these drivers. Like, you're really racing against yourself, and to me, I would get lonely out there without seeing a car for a while.
Agreed. I would say 5 to 10 more drivers might be nice. It's good to have at least 20 drivers.
Our winner here, the 46 of Christopher Baca. P2, the Daniels, and where is Great House? I think he's still got to complete his lap because of where he was on the track. But that's going to be pretty much locked in for him. And Strauss gonna grab second. So the checkered flags are rolling in. But wow, what a I wasn't expecting all that to happen. He's still giving it. Yeah, he's got to finish the lap. So effectively, Great House has put enough gap in to complete one extra lap over the field of cars. I think everyone's got to finish the lap, Chris.
Looks like they're still pushing through.
You got to make sure. Am I right?
That is correct.
I mean, hats off to Barker here on that 46 Nerds machine. I guess he wanted to get back around to the track to just be able to do his burnout here. Back-to-back wins, street stock to the Arca, Watkins Glen to Road America. Heck of a job. Daniels is coming around now. 12 of Ripple just doing a little show. Great House is off the track. Crouch is coming around to the front stretch here. And Amberson is off the track. So, I mean, one heck of a time for these drivers.
These guys put on a great show again.
Well, maybe
really like with these special events that these guys have put on.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, right? So maybe we'll take a quick little intermission here and see if we got some drivers for some interviews.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Rough
All right, Chris, let's see who we got waiting in the interview booth. We'll ask these guys a couple questions. We're going to grab our P1 finisher out of the Mazda class first. That's Joseph Greathouse. Joseph, Chris, and Rob up in the booth. How you feeling about today's battle?
I feel very happy about it. It was definitely not easy to complete with all the drafting that these cars do on these long straightaways.
Yeah, it seems like through kind of like taking us through your race from what Chris and I both saw is that you got out to an early lead, you had some pressure from that 83 car, and then Lady Luck decided to give you a little butt tap with some damage on the left front with one of the Arca cars. So how did that play in your mindset to getting you back on track and being patient?
Um, it scared me a lot when I was thinking when that happened, 'cause I thought my race was over. He was just gonna pull away, but thanks for the other Mazda that helped me with the draft. He helped me bring us back up and back in the battle.
So must feel pretty good. Like last time we were at Watkins Glen, event number 2, you had most laps led. You didn't hammer down the right strategy. Were you worried about strategy at all in this one for yourself?
Yeah, the strategy a little bit with only having 2 tire sets, and we do like a minimum of 3 stops of the race. So I decided not to take tires first stop, and then get wrecked. So I had to pit early and get the repair. So I got tires and then had to pit again. And that's when he passed me. So strategy worked out though this
Yeah,
time.
definitely did. So hats off to you on the win. Chris, over to you. Do you got any questions for our new winner in the Mazdas here, the Greathouse?
Joseph, congratulations, buddy. You put on a great show. I was going to ask you, do you have a lot of experience in driving the Mazda car, or was it just something that you knew you were going to do this event and you practiced a little bit?
I really do not have a lot of drive time in these cars. I just practice quite a bit to understand it because I knew that these cars I'm not really good at, and it takes a little bit of a learning curve to get used to them. So just practice. That's all.
Okay. What did you race in the first race? Was it the street stock or the GT3?
I was in the GT3.
Okay. Yeah, so you like the car that is used to having just probably a little bit more grip, tighter suspension, and getting through a road course than a NASCAR, obviously, and your car selections in both races. I was just going to ask you before I let you go, how much damage did you get in that incident? I mean, I assume you used your fast repair, but was the car pretty dinged up?
It was badly. I couldn't turn at all, so I had to do like a 2 point turn to get out of the wall because the wheel was. I couldn't turn at all, so I just had to go to the pits. I couldn't do anything else. Damage
You
was bad.
could you drive to the pits? You didn't tow, did you?
I drove.
Okay.
It just couldn't turn at all. It was
Yeah.
awful.
Well, if you're going to have an incident, if you're going to have a wreck, I guess that's a good spot to do it. So yeah, lucky for you that you raced well and that you had that incident there and you could make a recovery. So congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you in the next race. Okay, bud.
Thank you. Later.
That was our winner of the Mazda series there. We're going to grab the P3 finisher. He got through the tech shed now. That's the 83 machine of Tyler Emberson. Tyler, take us through a bit of your race today. You were up front for quite a while. What happened to you there at the end? Did you just miss a strategy? What'd you do to us?
Yeah. I first time doing an endurance race like this. Definitely did not get the clock correct on that first pit, and thought I could maybe hold out at the end by doing some lift and coast to save some fuel, but wasn't gonna make it. So a little bad strategy there at the end. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and first time out for you here at Foothills. I don't think you were at the first event where we had
Yep.
street
Yeah.
stocks.
Yeah. At first, this is an awesome event. I'm really happy about it. Really glad for the racetrack too. It's one of my favorites. So kind of convinced me to sign up for that, and it was a really fun race. Glad I got through it. Honestly, that was just the main goal: get 2 hours on the track.
Did you find it I guess challenging between the speed of the Arca cars and that
You
maybe
know,
their lack of a cornering ability because they didn't really corner
yeah,
too well.
yeah. Coming into braking and then seeing one fly by you, trying to, hit their braking before you and make that corner, and then slow down because they couldn't get through. It's intense. Like you have to really check your mirrors before you commit to your corner if you know one's behind you, because
Yeah.
they come up super fast. They catch you by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, just as we're watching the race, Chris and I, it's just all of a sudden you blink and then somebody shot up into your blind spot under that braking zone. So
Yeah, yeah, it's intense, but it's fun. I kind of like the multi-class. I thought I would dread it a little bit more, but it's really fun to do.
yeah, I think it makes for some great racing for sure. Chris, what do you want to chat with Tyler about?
Hello. Congratulations, buddy, on your P3. You and Joseph put on some good racing for us. It was exciting towards the front and then exciting towards the end. We weren't sure. We have a graphic that we can pull up that shows speed, RPM, fuel, and we knew Joseph. He had come in and pitted and took fuel. He took 4 tires, and then he came out after you, and we knew that the gap would come down. We just weren't sure if you were going to have to come in and pit or not. So we were excited in that last 10 minutes to see, all right, is Tyler going to be able to stay out? Joseph has to catch you, and then will he be able to pass you? And then we were kind of bummed to see that you had to come in and take that pit. So
Yeah.
so unfortunate, but I mean, it was cool to watch you guys battle at the end to see like what was going to happen. So I just wanted to say to you, great racing.
Thank you. Yeah, I was I enjoyed the beginning of the race with Joseph. He was really respectful in the corners, no incidents, which was awesome. And then yeah, I kind of that's why I pitted early. I wanted to avoid doing that the entire race because I figured like one of us was going to end up off track, probably me. So it took the pressure off a little bit, and then yeah, at the end I was really looking forward to battling him, but fuel.
Yeah, it is a good strategy because you never know, and the undercut a lot of times works out, and yeah, you take pressure off of yourself, and yeah, you just never know what's going to happen, and especially in a 2-hour endurance race. So I just wanted to say congratulations, you drove it well, and just for sure looking forward to seeing you on track next time. It's a really good league. The league puts on really cool events and multi-class events, endurance racing. So yeah, congratulations. Okay, bud.
Thank you. I'll also be back for the next. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Awesome. P3 finisher Tyler Emberson. You should just see how tight they raced, and I kind of forgot how tight they were right at the start of the race, but an excellent battle between those two drivers. We didn't get a chance to see Devin Strouch for his P2 finish tonight, but that's going to cap off our hardware winners in the day in the Mazda class. We're going to grab our P3 finisher in the Arca cars. Chris, are you ready? Sound ready?
Ready? Let's deliver it.
Do it. Mr. Jason Ripple, P3 today. How you feeling about the battles on the track, sir?
Just good, clean, fun stuff. Just kind of cut it too close on fuel, and then when I came in, adjusting all my stuff on the wheel and everything to try to get minimum fuel out, just went 46 mile an hour, and that was enough for the stop and go. So
Oh, you got
it
it
is what it
black.
is. Yep.
The black. Yeah, it looked like most of the race you kind of set pace. You got away from the 46 at Barker and had a healthy gap. So are endurance races a thing that you normally dabble with, or is this kind of like a first one for you?
I done the 24 hours of Daytona a couple times, but I mean, it's nothing new to me to drive for a few hours at a time. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I thought we were gonna have you know, a win, a Ripple win in the Arca car, and a Ripple win in the Mazda car, but I mean, just falling up short there. And Chris was
Yeah.
asking, and I had, I'm going to ask too, what's the relation to Ron and
That is my dad. He is the whole reason I even found this league, like, I think a week ago. Sent it to me, the link, and I was like, "Oh boy, I should do that." So I bought the Arca car, never driven it before, practiced for a week, and here I am.
I mean, the thing's a damn tank. By looking at how these Arca cars get around the bends, is it's a heavy car. It's not really meant for the tight cornering that Road America needs. But overall, how did you feel the balance or the stability of the car was for you?
Felt great to me. I feel like I could do good fast laps, lap after lap. I mean, after the stop and go at the end there, I just decided to say screw it and see what I could do, and did a 209.8. It's my best so far, so I feel like real comfortable with it. I'd kind of like to do more, honestly.
And pretty impressive run overall. Chris, what do you want to say to our P3 finisher?
Jason, congratulations, buddy, on P3. It was awesome. We enjoyed watching you get yourself around this track. What I was going to ask you, Robert already kind of asked you, everything that you kind of know about this car, you take it around an oval track and now you put it here on this road course, and it's like you throw all of your knowledge away, and we're racing this car that's uncomfortable or not sort of suited for this track. We're doing an endurance race as well. It's like a whole new set of things to learn and manage to be, successful at this race. So I was just kind of ask you, like, what you had to sort of manage or get under control to get on, on podium.
For me,
Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead. I have like a part B sort of. So yeah, go ahead and just
sorry.
comment on that for a second.
For me, it was the downshifts. I don't know what all these other guys are doing, but I was using H pattern shifter the whole time. Uh, yeah, just trying to get it smooth on the way down. It caught me out a few times trying to like lock the wheels and get wheel hop and stuff like that. But I would say that was probably my biggest issue.
Yeah, shifting
That's a
at
lot of
too high of an RPM would.
Yeah, that's a lot of physical
yeah.
work. That's a lot of shifting in this car through this race, and especially for 2 hours. So yeah, you managed it well. And I was just going to kind of comment too, like it must be super fun to do this with your dad. I do, or I should say, I used to do like real racing with my dad, and then my daughter as well. Family racing, it's awesome. So to just share this, in this race with your father must be like super exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Me and my dad have cars in real life that we actually go to Road America in and do track days, and it's a great time. I love it.
Yeah, I can understand that. So this must have been super fun to like be on the sim at Road America and do this with your father. So yeah, no, just congratulations to you. Looking forward to chatting with you again.
Thank you very much.
Our P3 finisher, Jason Ripple. Heck of a story there, Chris. Like, nice to get to know some of these guys and hear that outside of iRacing we have lives too.
Yeah, correct.
Grab our P2 finisher, John Daniels. John, Robin, Chris up in the booth. Hats off to you on just perseverance through today's race, grabbing that P2. What did you feel over the course of 2 hours that you think would be good to share with us right now?
Well, I knew from my very limited testing that it was going to be a fuel race. And that was my strategy the whole time, was to save fuel that first stint. I went like 3 laps longer than Jason did and a lap longer than Chris did. And I thought I was going to have it made because I knew Jason was going to have to make a splash and go at the end. And it was my assumption that Chris was as well. And that was the difference, was the pace dropped off enough by the end. Chris could save that extra lap, and really thought I had a chance at it. I just spent too much time saving.
Yeah, well, I mean, being in the contention to even be close enough to have a shot at the win is just really a mark of skill in itself. But Chris wants to know about free chalky milk.
That is
Okay.
true.
So I'll make the story brief, but it's a meme. And I'll go ahead and do this thanking sponsors here real quick as well because they'll tie in the thing. But if you see the logo on the cars, it's a video game called Find Love or Die Trying. You're supposed to. It's like a visual novel dating sim type game, and it's how I can get away with anime cars without actually calling an anime car. Well, after the game came out, someone made fan art of one of the characters holding a glass of chalky milk. And when I started making my own paint schemes, I said, I want something on the back of the car. Like what can Brown do for you, or fueled by bacon, or something like that. So I got the picture of the character holding the chalky milk, and that became the meme. And now it's just an absolute meme. And since you read the rear bumper, you also saw the "Don't push or else."
Yes.
That goes pretty well. But to thank the sponsors, Find Love or Die Trying, available on Steam, and its sequel, Find Love or Die Trying Till Death Do Us Part by Sunseeker Games, both on Steam for a total of $10. Rim protectors, and our friends at Tier Zero Racing, can't do without them, along with our friends at KSM.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. It's we talked about free chocolate milk the last time in the Watkins Glen race, and I had to remind Chris, but now we got the full story. Chris, what do you wanna chat with Mr. Daniels about?
John, congratulations, buddy. Yeah, great race. And I'm glad we get a chance to talk to you. And I'm glad Robert remembered to talk about the chalky milk, because I'm looking at this here online. Find Love or Die Trying. I have a daughter that's a gamer. She loves anime as well. And I'm going to ask her as soon as I get off here if she plays this.
It'll be Dad, give me $10 first.
I know, probably. I'll have to gift it to her in Steam. But no, you had a great race. You said you practiced just a little bit. Robert will attest anytime I do any racing with him. It's like, hey, did you practice at all? And I say, yeah, I'll let you know after I do a couple laps. So I don't practice anything, but this is all new to drivers who are familiar with the Arca car, but they take them on the this road course here at Road. It's all new data, I should say. So it's tough to control this car on this track. And you pretty much answered it when you were talking to Robert. But was it tough to just kind of keep this car on track and feel like you had control and you could be competitive?
Short answer, yes. The long answer was it didn't help. I compounded it with fuel saving, because basically I knew from the get-go did not have the pace for Jason and Chris. Those guys are very talented. They're very great. So basically I told myself, well, if I can't beat them on pace, I'll beat them on strategy. And if you ever watch some of the onboards of my car, especially in that first stint, you'll hear these guys running right up to the brake zone, full tilt, full chap. You'll hear my car and you won't hear nothing at the end of straightaways, because I was lifting and coasting, clutch in. So I had a hard time kind of with the clutch in, fuel saving, essentially releasing the clutch a little too soon and having all that rear RPM spinning up the rear tires. It was just tough in the beginning because I'm watching that gap get bigger, and I have to keep reminding myself, I still got to lift here. I still got to do this. And we made the strategy work. It was just a little bit too slow on the front end.
With that in mind, I'm just curious, do you feel like you got better tire wear though?
My tire wear improved as the race went on. First pit stop, I was in the upper 70s for tire wear all around. By the second pit stop, I was only in the low 80s for my worst wear. So I had better tire wear. It just sort of was that case of, I couldn't use it as much as I should have. For example, Jason, Chris, and I were all talking in the waiting room, and Jason talked about he was in first gears on some of these uh, corner exits. Well, me and Chris, we stayed in second gear trying to preserve our rear tires. And pace wise, that was a difference, but we didn't feel like the tire wear that became of it was worth the possible pain, so to speak.
Well, I haven't driven this track in this car. I would imagine going into first gear and trying to come out of a turn, that would be tough to manage. But you know what? Hey, you did a great job, and you got on the podium and took second place. So great job.
Indeed, and yeah, that's the thing about when you do any stock car on a road course. Everything from the street stocks and all the way up to the NASCAR Next Gen is basically keeping your right foot disciplined, as I call it, basically, so that you're not lighting up those tires because it's a negative feedback loop. You spin up the tires one time, and you lose grip on your exits, then you spin them up again, and you're a self-defeating cycle. But yeah, I have to thank Chris Barker for putting this on. It's always, these races are fun, and it's a different type of multi-class that you don't get on the service in officials.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Robert and I had a great time being a part of it and watching you guys. So, like I said, hats off to you for sure. You did a great job, and we just look forward to being at the next one and wishing you the best of luck.
Sounds good. And I hope to be there, and I hope to see it on y'all's wonderful YouTube channel. Y'all do a great job. Thank you so much for broadcasting us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Take care and have a wonderful rest of your day, and enjoy the top 10 free chalky milk.
We will. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. A P2 finisher, John Daniels. Grace, you better go download that damn game or get your daughter to. Like, what the hell?
I got it queued up. So, like I said, as soon as I finish up with you, it's on.
You ain't never finished with me, baby. Now we gotta grab our P1 finisher, Christopher Barker, Chris, Rob, and the other Chris, the non-racing Chris, up in the booth. Tell us, how sweaty are you?
Man, I'm telling you, it's getting pretty bad.
Well, I mean, watching you through the race, we saw the 12 machine Ripple get out in front of you, and you kind of, you had a tight battle there. You traded back and forth for a bit. You short pitted. I wasn't sure what the strategy was going to be, but he short pitted around like 32 minutes in, 35 minutes in. He short pitted again. What was going through your mind as you saw some of that gap open up? And did you think it was possible? Well, and obviously it was possible, but at the time, did you think it was possible that you'd be in the spot you are right now?
Well, to be when I come into the race, I thought we had plenty of fuel, man. I don't know how I miscalculated that, and I knew he was faster, so I was just trying to stay in his draft, and I guess that helped me save fuel on him, is why I was able to go 2 laps more. But once the first pit cycle kind of shuffled out, I then realized we wasn't going to have enough. And after I pitted and came out, I was like panicking, looking around, trying to figure out who was where, looking at fuel and stuff. And I'd done 2 laps that were terrible, like 3-4 seconds off the pace, right out through the gravel, being a dumbass. So then, once everything shuffled out, he was so far out on me. I'm like, I'm in a good spot to save. John was quite a bit ways back. He was so far ahead of me that there's no way I was going to catch him. So I just started saving. I pretty much saved the rest of the race. I would watch John, and as he got a little closer, then I'm like, I could do the mid 210s if I needed to. So I just kind of watched John pick my pace up, fall back, save, and one of my teammates, Chris Phillips, actually ended up a lap down in front of me for a little while. And he was a little bit slower than my pace, so I just followed him, and I was using his draft, and it paid off, man. I didn't think – I knew he was going to have to grab a splash eventually, but I thought he would get out and which he said he got speeding in the pits, I think. Is that what he told y'all?
Yep. Yeah, his last pit stop got tagged was doing 46 mile an hour.
Yep. I knew if he ever broke my draft or got away from me, he would slowly start pulling away. He told me he was going down to first in some of the turns, and in practice I knew there was some time there going down to first, but I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. And he could do those mid-10s over and over and over and over, and they're hard, man, for me. You know, I was pretty happy with low 11s. That's kind of where I wanted to be, you know, so I'm not pushing the car so hard. But man, he was fast. I hate to see him lose it like that, but this is the first road race I've ever been in where I had to fuel save, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's a different strategy, right? Like you're not only
Yep.
thinking about your competitors and your own equipment, you're thinking about strategy, and it just adds a different level of, concentration, a different strategy,
For
I guess,
sure, yeah.
overall, right? So,
I think it's something, if you knew you were going to have to do it, if you practiced for it, that would help. Because I was trying to let off, you know, like a number or two early on your braking markers, but then that puts you can brake later because you're slowing down, and it just kind of throws off your rhythm. And like one time, I think there was 10 minutes left. I had John Daniels was about 10 seconds out, and I messed up, and I don't know what I was doing. I was talking, you know, we was bullshitting a lot. Me and my teammates, you get to giggly and stuff. You've been here for 2 hours. I don't know. I was talking and braked at the 2 board instead of the 5, and I thought that was going to be my race. I went way out through the gravel and was able to get back on the track with 5 seconds back to John. But yeah, if you knew you were going to fuel save and practice for it, that would help a lot. It really throws your rhythm off because you're not braking where you normally are, and you got to really be concentrating.
yeah, well, I guess it paid off, right? Like,
It
so,
did, man. I never thought, like I told y'all, I was shooting for second or third. I knew John was fast, or Jason, from practice. So yeah, I can't believe I won. I was still really close there, and I kept telling my guys, I'm like, I need to watch the timer and make sure. Maybe I need to slow down, make sure there's less than 2 minutes left when I take, make sure I hadn't crossed the start finish where I'd get the white flag when I wanted, so there wouldn't be an extra lap. And I totally forgot, but I come on the front straight and it said white flag, and I'm like, yep, I knew I had it. And I
yeah.
seen Jason was like 53 seconds back, and I'm like, something happened, so there's no way he's catching. As long as I keep John back there where I want him.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back wins, that must feel good. Chris, over to you. What do you want to chat with Mr. Barker about?
Well, Chris, congratulations to you for taking the win here. Congratulations to the league and to yourself and to the guys for coming up with something that's been very creative and entertaining to be a part of. What's really cool about this is that there's so many variables, and that's why it's cool to be a part of, to watch and see how all these drivers can navigate through and be successful. And I think that's really cool. I mean, the Mazdas, of course, are suited and, race at a track like this, but you don't ever see the Arca cars. So there's a lot of unknown or little data to see how these cars are going to, perform at, first of all, a road course. And then let's also throw in, we're not going to do a 30-minute race or a 40-minute race. We're going to do a 2-hour endurance race. So there's just a whole bunch of like unknowns as far as, like you mentioned, fuel, how that's going to, work out for, the drivers in this car class, what kind of tire wear you're going to get. And then, of course, like driver fatigue plays a factor. You talked about like the braking and missing your braking marker at a certain point in the race. So there's just a ton of stuff that you haven't done hundreds of times by having this Arca car at, let's say, like a particular oval track that you've done over and over and over. So it's super entertaining to watch and to be a part of. And I think you pretty much just covered most of it as far as like, maintaining the car and what it felt like on track. I really just wanted to congratulate you on putting together something that was just very fun to be a part of, to watch. And, Robert and myself enjoy watching this show, and I hope that all of the viewers really get a kick out of, what you guys have come up with here in this league.
I appreciate you saying that, man. I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. I told my teammates, I'm like, once we realized the fuel strategy thing was going to play out, I'm like, I bet the broadcasters, they're probably busy.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah, right. You're trying to figure out, I wonder what this guy's doing, or, why is this guy pitting here? So, yeah, I'm sure that adds to the
Yeah, it's unknown for us as well broadcasting something like this because, like I said, it's not like, well, oh, it's these ARCA cars at this track and you kind of have an idea. We don't know what to expect as well. And, Robert has a graphic that shows speed, RPMs, and even fuel now, but we're not sure how accurate that is. So we flipped to that graphic a couple times to see maybe what we thought might be strategies or even the outcome. Come to find out, we thought someone might have enough fuel, and then they come in a lap or two later to get fuel. So it's fun for us as broadcasters and to just be watching this race and not know exactly what's going to happen. So, like I said, great job to you guys, creating, organizing, putting this league on, and just for all of these drivers to go outside of their comfort level to participate and to have some fun doing it. So we really loved it, and you guys did a great job of organizing this.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, man. Maybe we'll have more drivers next time. I think the Sunday at 2 p.m. is a bad idea. I was trying to help my buddy out there. We're a tight team. We try to race together. He's a lineman for Charter Cable, and he's been on call a lot and stuff, so that worked for him. But I think we're going to have to do a late Saturday or something, try to get some more drivers. Maybe go back to GT3 cars. That seems to be what everybody wants to race.
I think
we're going to do an oval for the next one. We'll try to come up with something different on oval.
Well, Robert and I will be here for whatever you guys, want to organize. I think that these two cars were a great sort of matchup for, for this road course. So it was very entertaining to watch. But, whatever you guys come up with next, we'll be available to bring that to you. We had a lot of fun, both races.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy we got y'all on board. Y'all do a great job.
Chris, who do you want to
appreciate that.
Give a shout out to for your win today? Like, we spend so much time talking about what you guys are doing, putting on, but like, you got nerds on the car. Chris likes nerds.
Yeah. I'm a 90s kid, man. I always try to find some Ninja Turtles or something. I had a Ninja Turtle paint scheme for Watkins Glen, and the whole team race thing, it wouldn't load. So I was kind of disappointed there. But I'm not creative. I can't come up with a paint. So I just go through trading paints and find what I like. I like something different. I don't like the traditional just NASCAR, whatever. But yep.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you doing this, putting it on. We're happy to be here as well. So just thanks a lot for doing this. It was a great show tonight, and yeah, we look forward to the next one.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. I know y'all have to be tired. I am. Y'all probably been here longer than I have.
It's a different skill when you're rambling opposed to driving, right?
Yeah. We're not tired. We've just been sitting here talking, so we're a-okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was sweating pretty good there, and I told my teammates, I'm like, man, I'm sweating. My pit's getting a little rank, and the fan is just blowing it right in my nose.
Oh crap!
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the house and take a shower, man. I am sweating.
Awesome.
Y'all guys have a good night.
Yeah, congrats on your win, Chris, and talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Well, Mr. Schuessler, we've come to another and beautiful end of a broadcast here at FootHills Sim Racing for event number 2. You got any quick closing thoughts before we shut this one down?
I think I just covered them for the most part talking to Chris, so I won't go back too much. I just wanted to say, we put on it was the drivers put on a very entertaining show. We broadcasted it. It was super fun to be a part of. These guys continue to just really organize, a lot of creative events. We've seen 2 of them so far. I'm looking forward to the next one, and a lot of respectful driving. Of course, we saw a couple little incidents. They were all, in my opinion, really just kind of race related. And yeah, Robert, what do you got, buddy?
I mean, very, very, very similar sentiments to you. I mean, we had a smaller field today. Could have been the car track combo or whatnot. But overall, just great racing. You can see the results up on the screen right now, showing that laps led went out to Chris Barker. I thought it would have been Ripple it is. Most laps led was 42 with Ripple, but Barker grabs the win. P2 to Daniels, only 5 seconds back. Ripple 51. We heard the sauce there around grabbing or getting the black flag when he did, and missing out on fuel strategy. Hard Charger goes out to Frankie Klein, Captain Caveman, up 7 spots for the day. and really just three different leaders today. So the three leaders are actually on the screen already. 54 laps in total. So I don't know, Chris. Like overall, excellent racing for the Arca cars there. And shout out to Burke, who had some camera time. Phillips, Steven Shue, Foster in 7th, Beish 8th. Klein just in 9th, and Drew Jennings. He unfortunately finished a little bit earlier, I think, than expected. Shooting over to our Mazda cars, we had the 48 machine of Great House, Devin Strouch. I forget his number. Was it 85, 585? And then 83 of Tyler Emberson grabbing that third spot. So I think it's always interesting to hear the drivers reflect on the endurance race, kind of what they were feeling and thinking. But overall, just some hats off to these guys for putting on a great show. We thought it was going to be the Ripple back-to-back wins in both classes. Ron Ripple grabs P4, Brian Gomolka in 5th, Benke 6th, and Carlos Sama in 7th. So, Chris, I mean, we're just going to be waiting for the next one. I don't know what track they're going to be at, what they're going to have, but I think FootHills Sim Racing here is on to something special.
Yeah, they do it right for sure. They hinted at maybe an oval, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But they've come up with two very entertaining designs or setups for their endurance races so far. So, yeah, like you said, we'll just wait. Hope to be at the next one and deliver some fantastico broadcasting.
Fantastico. Well, hats off to all of our drivers today, putting on an excellent show for you guys to watch on the Outlier TV network. We got 4K broadcasting. We got beautiful overlays. We got some colored commentary. Am I right, Chris?
I would say so. Some might disagree, but I don't know. I'll agree with that.
Sometimes if you don't listen to other people's opinions, they don't matter much, actually. So
okay,
is what it is. Am I right? So whatever.
Sure.
But no, thank you for everyone tuning in today. Hats off to our winners in both classes. Once again, the 46 of Christopher Barker and the 48 of Joseph Greathouse in the Mazda car. So, thanks everyone for being here on a Sunday. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Robert, I'll see you next time.
See you on Wednesday, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday.